Salutations, cadets! I'm your Commander Pika. This guide will go over recommended loadouts for and walk you through the Exodus Crash GM Nightfall and Season of Plunder. Strats and spawn should stay constant, so if viewing in the future, just substitute weapons to match the seasonal anti-champion mods, maybe check out my list of all free-to-play legendary weapons. In the description we'll also link to a full unedited run of the Nightfall and explain some methodology. With that, let's get started. For the GM modifier specific to Exodus Crash, you have Arachno, so Fallen Vandals drop slow mines when killed, Chaff, so no radar, 4 barrier and 13 overload champions, Solar Shields, and Arc Burn. The only Solar Shields spawn on the Heavy Shanks during the end of the plate encounter and when destroying the Fallen Walker guarding the boss store. Because of this, you don't need to be rocking Solar, so optimize Arc Burn by using Arc weapons or whatever loadouts you have access to and satisfies your builds. With the multitude of Overload champions and the Barrier champion spawning at a difficult time in the boss room, I advise, if you can, everyone having means of stunning both types of champions, either with weapons or abilities, and then rocking Arc Resist, Max Resilience, and Melee Resist or Concussive Dampener. For our minimum spec loadouts, this means all free-to-play gear only. For exotic weapons, Arbalist, Risk Runner, Skyburner's Oath, Hardlight, Sleeper Simulant, and Thunderlord. For legendary weapons, let's go by champion type. Barrier weapons, Come to Pass, Sorrow's Verse, Herod's Sea, 7th Seraph Carbine, Night Watch, Persisty, Staccato 46, Long Shadow, Silicon Aroma, and Defiance of Yasmin. For my shortlist, whatever kinetic sniper you can use, Persisty, Come to Pass from the Gift of the Thunder God chest, and Staccato 46. For overload weapons, Arsenic Bite, Point of the Stag, Strident Whistle, Luna Lada 4B, 7th Seraph Saw, and Overload Arc Grenades. Shortlist would be Point of the Stag from the Monument to Lost Lights kiosk, 7th Seraph Saw to focus on ad clear and use Warmind cells, and Arc Grenades. For power weapons, if opting for a rocket strat, then Sleepless or Heretic. Just make sure to have an Aeon user and Scavenger mods to not run into an ammo issue. And it's advised to have the Tracking Module perk. Otherwise, the best linear fusion rifle you have, the rare King Cobra or the trusty Taipan 4FR. Having one person on 7th Seraph Saw to focus on ad clear is great. And if you're feeling risky, you could try swords, because of the C2C nature of the boss fight. However, this is not really advised for newer players, it's just a strat that has had success in the past. For that, look to Half-Truths. For subclasses, let's go by character. Hunters, I highly advise Void, but Arc has its uses. On Void, I recommend Orpheus Rig. Deadfall Tether will help in the ad-dense rooms to keep them under control and give orbs to your teammates. And Graviton Forfeit is okay to invis your way out of trouble. For Arc, Shinobu's vow to spam Jolting Overload Skip Grenades. For neutral picks, Aeon Swift for team ammo, Frosty is for ability regen, and Wormhusk for healing out of trouble. However, I think Void with Orpheus is the far most useful pick. Titan should opt for Void or Arc. On Void, a Helm of Saint 14 Ward of Dawn is a pretty good defensive option when getting rushed, hunkering down, and preparing for the boss. Or pair Sentinel Shield with a neutral exotic to provide more cover and move with your team. For Arc, Curus of the Falling Star to quickly take out champs and the boss. However, I think opting for neutral picks offers more versatility. I'd highly recommend Armamentarium for double Arc Overload Storm Grenades, or double debuff Vortex Grenades. And then Aeon Safe and Crest of Alpha Lupi are safe team picks. Warlocks, all light elements have some utility. Void can use Child of the Old Gods Aspect and Ezrak Sin to debuff and lock down the enemies. Arc can opt for Crown of Tempests or Getaway Artist for ability spam. And Solar can select Starfire Protocol for more fusion grenades for healing or DPS. I don't recommend pairing that with Empowering Ref for this Nightfall due to the volume of ads. However, I think the Stag is the best pick paired with Well of Radiance. Damage resist, healing, and safety is the best tactic for the plates and boss room. Some quick loadout recommendations. For no exotic picks, then a sniper, bow, and a DPS weapon of choice. Opting for double primaries, then an auto and a bow. Exotic options. Arbalist and a bow for champ coverage and shield destruction. For DPS, sniper, bow, and sleeper simulant. And for ad clear, sniper, auto rifle, and thunderlord. My quick builds for each class. Hunters, go Void with Orpheus Rig, choose Deadfall Tether to better control the ads and support your team, pair with Arbalist, Point of the Stag, and Taipan. Titans, go Armamentarium with your choice of Arc Thundercrash for damage and Overload Storm Grenades, or Void Banner Shield to play defensive, paired with Hardlight or Thunderlord, with a sniper, bow, or linear fusion to fill the gaps. Warlocks, rock the Stag on Solar Well of Radiance for defense, pair with Skyburner's Oath, Arbalist, or Hardlight with a bow, auto, and linear fusion. And then as a whole, Risk Runner is a viable pick to survive the arc damage. It just might not be the best given its range in the plate encounter. Now for maximum spec. For exotics, Wishender, Witherhoard, Quicksilver Storm, Aegir Scepter, Trinity Ghoul, Limonarch, Divinity, Symmetry, Tiku's Divination, Queenbreaker, Anarchy, Lament, and Gallarhorn. For exotic armor, Hunters have 6 Coyote, Omnioculus, or Gerfalcon for more invis effects. Assassin's Cowl or Liar's Handshake are options for Arc Hunters, but I don't see them as safe and viable due to the exploding shanks. Renewal Grasp for Stasis Resist, or Star Eater Scales for faster charging, higher damage supers. Titans have Lorelei for healing, second chance to break barrier shields and spread volatile, Ursa Furiosa for longer lasting banner shields, and Heart of Inmost Light to spam high damage abilities. And Warlocks have Fallen Sunstar for more arc abilities, Osmiomancy for more uptime on freeze, Phoenix Protocol to Well Chain for every engagement, and Geomag Stabilizers for longer chaos reach. All classes have the option to use Stasis, which is amazing for locking enemies and buried champs in place. Just be aware of freezing Overload champions, as that will start their health regen. So wait for them to thaw, re-stun, then do damage. For legendary weapons, Sweet Sorrow is a great CQC auto, Tarnished Metal with Volt Shot is quite nice, Secession and Thoughtless are better sniper picks, and for DPS you can opt for Sail Spy Pitchglass, Storm Chaser, Hero of Ages, or Sub-Zero Salvo to make good use of Arc Burn. For quick builds with everything at your disposal. For Hunters, Orpheus Rig with Deadfall is too good to pass up, but if you want some spice, then maybe stay sets with Aeons or Renewal Grasp for your team. Pair with a Sniper, an Exotic Bow, and a DPS weapon of choice. Titans, Heart of Inmost Light for powerful roaming Overload Arc Storm Grenades on Thunder Crash, or Ursa Furiosa on Void Banner Shield to play defensive and generate orbs. Pair with Sniper or Auto, Exotic Bows, Thunderlord or Divinity, and a preferred DPS weapon. Warlocks, Phoenix Protocol on Solar is great for having Well of Radiance in every engagement, or Stasis Bleak Watcher turrets with Eye of Another World or Osmiomancy. Pair with Divinity or Aegir Scepter, Bow or Scout, and DPS of choice. If opting for Rocket Strat, then a Hunter or Warlock on Aeon, 1 Gallarhorn, and 2 Arc Rockets. Additionally, a Sword Strat with Lament or Arc Weapons could work if you're feeling daring. With that, let's get to the walkthrough. In the opening section, take it slow. I advise against using your Sparrow, they're just bombs between your legs. Take out the adds at a distance, travel as a group, and be very careful of the few drag pikes. They will destroy you when they get close, so feel free to use special and heavy ammo on them. Carefully make your way through the Arc Traces, mindful of the sneaky Sniper Vandals. For the second wave of Arc Traces, be careful of the Sniper Vandals on the far ridge after the Man Cannon. Snipe them before they snipe you. There are also some resilient dregs with Scorch Cannons that hurt and another very sneaky Pike. Fight as a group, kill everything, collect the charges, move up the ramp. As you make your way up, be mindful of the mines the Vandals drop. Shoot them before they go off so they don't slow you down, or worst case scenario, kill you as they detonate. Watch the adds pour from the spawn doors at the exit and rush. Clear them and the 1 Overload champion, then make your way inside. In these hallways, you'll have trip mines on the wall and 2 Overload champions. Shoot the mines so you can safely pass, and team shoot the enemies. Not too difficult, just be prepared for them around every corner. This is also a safe spot to do Aeon finishers to get topped off before the plate encounter. This defending your ghost plate encounter is the first real hurdle, but can be made much safer if you take it slow. As you enter the room, you'll have Marauders, Dregs, 2 Overload champions, and some overcharged Shanks. Just pick them off one by one. These special Shanks will appear throughout the Nightfall and they don't explode on their own. They lock down areas releasing their AoE arc fields that slow anyone near them, preventing jumping and sprinting. In this encounter, they will move to and deactivate your ghost, which is fine really. And final bit of advice, use cover the best you can and retreat back up the stairs if you're ever getting overwhelmed. When you are ready, interact with the fallen device and start. For every player on the plate, 1% goes by on the counter, so to play it safe, only have 1 person on the plate. When enemies start spawning, mainly when you get notified that a champion has appeared, get off the plate, clear the room, then repeat. This way you control the flow of combat. If you're feeling confident, all 3 guardians can group up on the plate to make it go by faster, but that also means the enemies spawn quicker. You'll fight a few waves of Dregs, Wretches, Shanks, and 2 Overload champions. Regardless of your method, at 51%, the hack gets halted and 2 barrier servitors spawn. This is where you want to kill one and only one of them. Doing so will then spawn 3 Overload champions that will rush you. So get in position up the stairs or behind cover, focus the champions, call out where they teleport around. After that, focus the remaining barrier champion, then you can continue the hack. Just like the first 50%, you'll have several waves of adds and 2 overload champions, with 2 to 3 solar heavy shanks thrown in. Just take it slow and retreat if need be. Once at 100%, just clear the remaining enemies, grab ammo, then continue on your way. For this outside transition bit, be cautious of Sparrow usage. You'll have to pick up arc traces again, but this time you're in a GM patrol space. Enemies die fairly quickly, but they still hurt you quite a bit. So be on the lookout for numerous drag pikes, normal fallen, and then the possibility of a public event or wandering high value target. Be safe, collect the traces, then meet at the exit. You want to move fast in the next section, so quickly Sparrow up the path and make your way to the right side area. Careful of the Skiff's arc cannons and sniper vandals. Hop off your Sparrow and get away from them. I recommend destroying them yourself so they aren't time bombs for later. Clear out the adds on the right side area, careful of the other Skiff, then focus the fallen walker. This is the only enemy you have to destroy to open the door, so shoot the crit spots on its legs, then shoot its gooey center. Try to conserve ammo the best you can. After that, make your way inside. You'll have several dragons and vandals and 1 overload champion. Be careful of them hiding and jumping about, as well as the explosive canisters. Make your way up the jumping platforms, several mines to shoot along the way, as well as sniper vandals near the distant door. The boss room is the real trouble of this Nightfall. It can go from 0 to 100 quite quickly, so play as a group and coordinate when you're using supers, abilities, and focusing targets. Best chance of survival is grouping up on the left side platform and using those boxes as cover. The fight is divided into 3 back-to-back phases. To start, kill all the overcharged shanks. Like the plate encounter, they will patrol and slow you down throughout the fight. Phase 1. Boss spawns invisible somewhere in the room wielding a shotgun. Call them out. Wretches and overcharged shanks spawn and rush as well. The ideal scenario is to focus the boss and get them to 66% HP so they fully disappear until the next phase. So call out the boss and focus DPS on the target. Ideally you save your supers, so just use grenades, rifts, and barricades to protect yourself. Every small chunk of damage you do, like 1/9 of their health, they will teleport away and rush back. Just call out where he appears next. If you want, have one person focus on the encroaching adds so the other 2 can safely DPS the boss. This is a great spot for a divinity user to focus the boss so you can have an easier time hitting linear fusion rifle shots. Otherwise, nuke him the best you can. After that, thin the room and hunt for ammo. The next phase starts when you kill the last Dragger Vandal, not the overcharged shanks. When all normal enemies are dead, the shanks detonate and the next phase starts. Phase 2. The boss with a shotgun and 2 barrier champions spawn at the entrance near the 2 electric generators and they will rush you. Additionally, vandals and overcharged shanks will spawn throughout the room and rush. The ideal scenario again is to locate, focus, and DPS the boss until they are at 33% HP, where they again will teleport away until the next phase. This is the hectic phase with everything rushing and hurting, so use your supers when they get close to your area for maximum uptime. Wells, tethers, and bubbles. Just communicate and cycle them so you don't waste them all at once. If you have a DPS super, this is also a great opportunity to focus the boss so they leave sooner. And again, you can have one person focus on ad clear so you don't get overwhelmed. Stasis effects, like Bleak Watcher turrets, are great for locking the barrier champions in place. Get rid of the barrier champions, and like the last phase, when all normal adds are dead, next phase starts. Phase 3. The boss rushes you wielding his 2 arc swords, flooding the room with marauders and overcharged shanks. This is where you kill him, so pop your remaining supers, communicate, and focus on the boss. The quicker you do so, the less time you have to worry about the encroaching enemies. Otherwise, someone focus ad clear to give breathing room, use abilities, then take down the depraved. Congrats on besting that pirate. Hopefully you didn't get too overwhelmed in the boss room. If you're having trouble, spec into multiple Wells of Radiances, or have a tether, well, and damage super. Utilize cover the best you can. Coordinate with your team when the boss shows, who's using what super, who's focusing adds, and play it smart. If instead you were doing this on Master difficulty, it adds the rotating positive-negative modifiers Lightning Crystals, Arc and Stasis ability regen is increased at the cost of more incoming damage, Enfilade, machine gun ammo drops more often, but other heavy weapons drop far less ammo, and Togetherness. Health regen is severely reduced unless standing next to teammates. So put on Arc Storm Grenade spam builds, try running Thunderlord, and stay together. The strike should play as normal, if not faster. And I'll leave you to it. If you have any questions or other recommendations, leave them down below. Otherwise, if you're looking to find people interested in Destiny 2, come join our clan in Discord Sundog Gaming. And make sure to subscribe for future guides. As always, I am your Commander Pika. Be kind, have fun, and I'll see you on the battlefield.